to the podcast. This is two morticians on an expedition.
Ooh, that's a good one.
That's a
you
good
were
one.
you were right. Yeah.
I was cooking with that one. Yeah, it's two dope boys on a podcast on a porch. I'm Aiden.
I'm Samuel.
And we're gonna talk about some albums.
Yeah, we're gonna review some albums. We pick 2 albums a week. One of them is randomly selected from Rate Your Music's random genres. We pick a genre we think is cool. We listen to that album and we give it a rating. Then we pick a new release out of 5. We pick a new release and then we rate that one as well. So, you want to get straight into it?
Yeah,
let's
jump
just get
right
crazy
into
with it. So, our first pick for today is the new Duster album, In Dreams. This was picked by our mystery benefactor, who will remain nameless, but she cannot be here today because she is off on a safari beating wild rhinoceroses to death with a cudgel.
Yeah.
Which is kind of problematic of her, but
yeah,
I mean,
but
we love her anyways.
Yeah, and we look the other way.
We look the other way. It's all about, the world's a land of contrasts when you really think about it. There's 2 sides to every story.
And a land of conquest, if you really want to think.
If you're a mortician on an expedition, it's really a land of conquest. Yeah. So, this new Duster project, Duster, of course, is, if you do not know, the legendary slowcore band. Slowcore genre, lo-fi, that sort of stuff.
Shoegazy.
Yeah, shoegazy. They're, I'm going to get the year wrong, but 2001-ish. Album Stratosphere. I think maybe 90...
90s.
90s, yeah. 2001 was like contemporary, but their album Stratosphere kind of started the slowcore movement, garage rock, lo-fi type stuff.
98.
98? Good for Duster. Look at them go. And it's a monumental record in the slowcore community. And Duster is kind of the big granddaddy of slowcore, up there with like Low and like Codeine.
Yeah, and
Ride, yeah. Up there, yeah. This is just a peek behind the curtains. I've barely written down any notes for this, and we're recording this a little bit sleepy and late at night, so this one's going to be a bit of a mess. So,
yeah.
Sorry.
This is the freestyle episode.
This is the fuck it we ball episode.
Yeah.
So, Aiden, what do you think of this Duster record? Their first effort in 3 years. They're recently reformed. Sorry to stomp on your thing there, but they reformed in 2019 after like about a 15-year hiatus or so. And this is their 3rd record since reforming. So, what'd you think?
So, I really like Duster. We should have brought the vinyl out and put it.
Yeah. We have multiple ones.
He's got this album here. They're self-titled.
Skog is repping it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of, and I'm a big Duster fan, and I have to say I'm a little disappointed in this release. I feel like they've been chasing the same sound for a while now, without much evolution, and I wish they would switch it up a little bit more.
Yeah.
That's kind of where I was at with this album. What about you?
Yeah, I feel kind of the same way. I'm also a massive Duster fan. I love what they did with like Helvetia, all that stuff. Great, talented musicians. But I think this record is indicative of not a problem with slowcore, just an inherent like challenge with the genre. In that because it's so slow and repetitive, if the riffs aren't like snapping, if the juice isn't there, it can be a very tiring listen. Yeah. Because what can be drony and vibey very quickly turns into just mediocre and boring. Yeah. And I hate to sound slanderous like this, but this record was mostly just mediocre and boring overall.
Yeah, they hit a lot of the same chord progressions, a lot of the same Dusterisms that you'll get in my opinion in better form on some of their older albums like Stratosphere.
Yeah.
They did. I will give them credit for some cuts, and we'll talk about our favorite songs in a second, but some cuts where they played with tone a little bit, and there were some interesting pieces, so there's definitely a couple great songs to pull away from this project, but I think all in all it's a slightly disappointing and pretty mediocre Duster release.
Yeah, and I think it's just disappointing on a lot of levels. The vocals are just not the same as they've been in the past. The guitar tones especially kind of take a little bit of a nosedive from like the really interesting lo-fi, because we disagree on this. My favorite album they do is Stratosphere. Your favorite is the self-titled in 2019. Yeah. I think the lo-fi sound that sounds like it's on a cassette player or a 4-track sounds beautiful. What they're able to do with that, and the riffs on that one are great. And this one is just lacking in the guitar tone department. It's just not there. the kind of really iconic, catchy stuff they do on like Inside Out or Gold Dust is just not here.
Yeah.
And the tracks just kind of mush together. And it's not bad at all. Like, it's still Duster. It still sounds good. You could kind of passively listen to this, like, 38-minute record and be fine.
Yeah.
But it's just disappointing from a band that we respect so much and know has better stuff in them.
Yeah. Yeah, I think along with kind of everything being a mush, I think the mixing on this album was a bit off, too, compared to some of their other ones. I found myself losing the bass in all the low-end build-up in the guitars at times, and I think the bass cuts through a little bit more on some of their other stuff. But I don't want to bash the album too much because it still is a good album.
It's so fun. We've never been critical on the show before. Now we get to be all critical.
We're so divisive.
Yeah, it's a half star. It's shit.
It's terrible.
No, I'm sorry. Stupid. But
I was thinking of trying to do the Mussolini speech, but I don't know the Mussolini speech.
Which one? The
Dwight one.
What's the Dwight Mussolini speech?
Yeah, you haven't seen that?
No, I haven't seen the Dwight Mussolini.
Yeah, it's one of the old Office episodes.
Oh, I thought you meant a speech Mussolini gave, and I was like, you have a Mussolini speech in your back pocket?
I wish. That'd be awesome. I could just pull that one out.
You just start chanting in Italian at me.
Yeah.
The trains will run on time.
But yeah.
I'm going to give the Mussolini speech, and it's just me talking normally, but I'm hanging upside down.
Yeah, the Duster album did not have a Mussolini speech.
Sadly, yeah. Sadly, Duster did not hang Mussolini and his wife upside down until they died.
Boo.
Boo. Yeah, that's why this record was really a flop for me.
Boo.
Not enough fascists killed in the process of making it, yeah. So, Aiden, what was your favorite track from this album?
I forgot. I
have No Feel written down for you.
No Feel, that's right.
Yeah.
The guitar tone on that's cool.
Yeah. I also put No Feel as my favorite. It's got a pretty sick, nasty fuzz bass, which is not something they normally do, and that's cool.
That was one of those tracks that I was like, oh.
Yeah. When your ears kind of perk up a little bit.
Yeah, it's like when you have a little. It was like a little sweet treat on the album.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think we've said about all that we can say about that before we start repeating ourselves. What'd you give this album?
I gave it a 2.5. I think.
God damn it! I was gonna give it a 2.5.
Right in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling also a 2.5 here. It's just a very mediocre record. Yeah. I think that's good. All right. Our next record, our randomly picked album of the week. Our random genre was American folk, and I selected the album Sweet Tea by Buddy Guy, released in 2001.
Buddy Guy, the iconic blues guitarist.
Yeah, he inspired a lot of the guys that would steal all the good music from black blues artists like Eric Clapton and Jeff Beck, and he was a session musician for Muddy Waters for a bit, and he's been making music since the 60s.
Influenced the good artists that took inspiration from blues too, like the White Stripes.
Exactly. He influenced the cool ones and the shitty ones.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Cool dude.
Very cool dude.
Yeah.
And this album's a cool one.
Yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah.
I know Buddy Guy. He played. I think I heard about him when he played for Obama once.
Yeah.
So, shout out to Obama.
Shout out to Obama.
Yeah, and this one was a fun one.
It's a cool album, yeah.
You kind of just said American folk. I saw the cover art and I didn't realize it was a Buddy Guy album.
Yeah.
And I kind of just played it and I was like, wait. There's something to this, and then I looked and I was like, "Oh, that's why."
Yeah,
it's like one of the most iconic blues guitarists.
Right.
I think it's fun.
It's a really fun album.
It's filled with like the vocals are great. Super soulful, and
he's such a great singer. He's got it's really great going back to blues music after, because I don't normally listen to blues music in my everyday, but I like a lot of blues artists, and there's just something about that voice that, when you can really get in that groove, you got the 12 bars blues going behind you, and you're just, howling back there, it's very engaging.
Yeah, and, he's got the riffs down, too. There's some songs that it's just, like a big riff before he even starts anything, and it's just great. And the lyrics are so like, so this album came out in 2001, I think, and it still feels like a time capsule. For blues music, like the way every song is written just feels like it was plucked out of like the 40s.
Yeah, but there's a really interesting thing in that the instrumentation is very modern for like 2001, and it's a very interesting clash because you have like really like you got 12-bar blues, you got old blues riffs, and then you got a really nasty guitar that sounds like out of a White Stripes album.
Yeah.
And then you got a fuzz bass in there, which, to be fair, in my opinion, I think is to the album's detriment sometimes. I find there's a couple songs where I find the fuzz bass a little annoying.
Yeah.
And a little bit like, that sounds a little bit cheap and a little bit out of place. And then there's other songs where, like, those guitar tones are disgusting.
Yeah.
And it's a really cool project in a very time capsule-y way. I think, like, that part of it is fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was just a fun listen.
Yeah,
all
and
around.
It starts with like an acoustic track with the song "Done Got Old," which is like a 3-minute acoustic track of just Buddy Guy playing, and then it launches into a fuzz bass kind of electric sound that persists for the rest of the record. And it's a 54-minute record, and it just doesn't feel like that. Yeah. It's a great listen.
It goes right by. Everything flows smoothly.
Yeah.
And he's still able to, like, make a blues song that's really interesting every single time.
Yeah, there's some songs that are peppy that kind of have like more like kind of like an upstroke feel where you're kind of like the guitars are hitting on the and you kind of feel the feel, and there's other songs that are just very mournful.
Yeah, I think like if we're doing like, if you can only describe this album with one word, I think timeless is the perfect word for this. It just like you just can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just that good. What was your favorite track on this one?
My favorite track on this one was I Gotta Try You Girl. This song really, really blew me away because I kind of have a real sweet spot for like those 11-minute jam blues songs like this one is. And this one is a really good one. It's just him sitting in there and just kind of howling over it for a bit and just like really grimy guitars. And I think the like tone of the guitars and the tone of the blues in it are just so, they fit the lyrics so well because the lyrics are all like, I gotta try you girl, I need you girl, that sort of thing. And it really, like, the way the music kind of like gives you this feeling of like desperate lust is really, really good. And it creates this real grimy feel to it that, I don't know, you don't hear all that often in music. Like that real just nastiness. Yeah. That is a very, very, very fun vibe to sit in for 11 minutes.
Yeah. This whole like album almost sounds like the engineer just like got hit Buddy Guy, his amp, his guitar, his bass, and they just sat on his porch and like recorded this album.
Yeah. And
he did everything in one take. Like it's just like it feels so like authentic and like perfectly minimal.
Yeah, and it's not stagnant. I feel like a lot of like there's some blues records where like it's kind of just the same thing over and over again. And this one has songs about like woo! Like this one has songs about like losing love. This one has songs about being desperate and like in like you've got the desperate lust of I Gotta Try You Girl, and other songs where it's just like I miss you. And it kind of like is a really good encapsulation of all the different moods of the blues.
Yeah.
In that, like, it's not just about like, oh man, my baby left me, I'm so sad. There's a desperation to it, there's a hurting to it, and that kind of takes all these different forms in a way that like when you're actually hurt like that, it really represents that really well, I feel.
Yeah. No, I think it was a great album.
Great record. What was your favorite track?
I'm gonna look at my notes.
Look what all you've got. Look what all you've got. My handwriting is really bad. That's not Aiden's fault.
Oh, my pillow.
No, your parrot pillow.
Oh, man.
Oh, shucks.
Oh.
Everybody's going to be making fun of you for dropping your pillow.
Oh, they're gonna think I'm such a loser for dropping
Crab
my
apples.
pillow.
Oh,
Jeez.
oh, gee willikers.
Oh, cripes.
I've
Cripes almighty.
I've really stepped in it this time. Oh.
I've really done it now.
Oh, what's Betsy gonna think of me now?
Oh.
Oh, she's always talking to that guy down at the store. She never even looks at me. Oh, I'm never gonna get a date to the high school dance. Oh, I'm gonna be standing in the corner by the punch bowl. Stupid. Fred's gonna be making fun of me. He'll say, "Hey, Four Eyes," and then I'll go hide in the bathroom for a bit.
He's gonna give me a swirly.
He's gonna give me a swirly. No, he's gonna give me a wedgie. Oh, he's gonna stuff me in the locker. Oh, I hate Fred. I'm gonna kill him. My dad's got a gun, and I know the locker combination.
Oh, jeez. All right, back to the album.
So, what would you rate this album?
I'm gonna give it a 3.5.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was real solid.
Is this the first disagreement? Because I gave it a 4.
Oh,
I'm feeling, yeah.
Whoa.
Whoa, fighting words, yeah. hey, put those. Wait, what is
Put
it?
those dukes up.
There it is. Put those dukes up.
Let me at him.
Hold me back, boys. Hold me back.
Yeah, we're gonna disagree on this.
Yeah. Your fly's down.
Guys, I swear.
Cancelled.
Canceled.
Disgusting man leaves fly down during podcast episode.
Asked to leave.
Arrested and sentenced to 20 years
Yeah.
in federal penitentiary.
Hey, I was just airing it out.
Sorry, I was gonna let it go. I saw it and I was like, I should let that go.
I'm just
I was
airing it out.
Just airing it out. Letting it breathe.
Yeah.
Let it work. Let the spirit move within you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit. The Holy Ghost.
Mm.
Holy Ghost. It's like a wild goose. You really think about it. Shout out Randy Shepley.
Shout out.
Shout out. Big dog.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's that.
Yeah.
3.5, 4. Great record. Definitely check that one out.
I guess I gave it a 3.5. I think it was just I don't think I listened to enough blues.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
And I think the I really wanted to give it a higher score, but I think I can only hear the 12-bar blues so many times.
That's fair.
And it's hard to like really innovate on a 12-bar blues.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think
But-
the thing that kept it from being higher for me was the kind of like dated fuzz bass tones that sometimes made it sound cheesy. But I mean, the vocals were just unbelievable.
Yeah,
And I like the depth of the lyrics really hit for me because it's so like the blues are so simple.
Yeah.
But like the range of emotions he captures.
Yeah,
in
it's
this-
about the blues. It's about singing the blues.
Yeah,
Like,
it really hit home for me.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Great album.
Yeah.
All
right.
So I guess we're moving on into our favorite segment.
Our favorite segment.
Your favorite segment.
Your
Because you're
favorite
gonna hear
segment.
some probably never before heard two dope boys themes during these listening portions.
Yes. Shit. Do we have enough? Do we? Wait. Do
We don't have enough, but we'll make more.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll make more.
Yeah.
Just for you.
If you don't know, all those themes that you hear, we wrote them.
We wrote them.
They're ours. Copyright.
You can't take them,
You
or
can't
we'll
take them.
beat your ass
Or
with
we'll
hammers.
sue.
Yeah. Oh.
Send
Yeah. We'll
all-
sue you.
I'll send all the lawyers. Rudy Giuliani.
Rudy Giuliani. Wait. What was the thing he said the other day where he was like debat? Was he debat?
The debat.
The debat.
Oh man. Yeah, our lawyers will come for you.
We'll take you to the Four Seasons.
We'll take all the rights away. Now we're moving into our next segment.
The only podcast to do Trump impressions.
The biggest podcast.
The biggest podcast.
They're
you've ever
calling
seen.
it the best.
The best.
We're moving in to the next segment where we show each other songs.
Underground singles you've never heard before.
You've never heard them before.
Except for all my friends who went to this concert with me.
lot
They've
of,
never heard it either.
a lot of beautiful bands,
Beautiful bands, beautiful people,
beautiful singles.
beautiful ladies.
We're gonna move into the first single. What was your first single?
So my single was Cannibal Song by a band called Dutch Interior. And you can see Youngle Skog here is repping the Dutch Interior merch because over the summer, me and a couple friends, we went to a concert for a shoegaze band called Dive and a slowcore band called Horse Jumper of Love. Both of them were fine, but the opener was Dutch Interior, and they were phenomenal. They were unbelievable live.
Hell yeah.
I don't know much about them. They're from Los Angeles. They do an interesting mix of... This is a genre we've talked about as kind of on the up and up, but like slowcore with a little bit of country to it. And they do a little bit of slowcore with some country to it, but they're a lot more art rocky with it than bands we like Dialup Ghost.
Well, yeah, maybe we should. I was gonna just say we should slip that in there.
Yeah, shout out
Dialup Ghost. Yeah,
Dialup Ghost, local Nashville band. They do a very cool mix of slowcore and country. They have a new single out right now.
Hardcore too.
Hardcore. They're amazing. We saw them live at the Underdog in Nashville. They're fantastic. They seem awesome. Absolutely check Dialup Ghost out. Yeah, they're amazing. But yeah,
love them.
Dutch Interior, great band. Let's get into it.
Yeah, we're gonna check it out. I already forgot the name of the band. Oh my
Dutch Interior.
Dutch Interior.
Cannibal Song.
Cannibal Song. Yeah, that's a fun one. You can tell they're really, they're a smaller band. It doesn't sound like they recorded it in the studio.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds like they recorded the song and then threw it in a trash compactor. And then it spit something out, and then they took that and put it in, they just slapped, every compressor they had on it. Because the song starts off with just this, guitar part and vocals.
We're recording on the other track.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool.
And it then, goes into, and I don't want this to go the wrong way. It sounds like a 2000 stomp clap song, but if every time they stomped, they instead of having the normal stomp, it's a stomp that's clipped all the way through the mic, so it sounds like they're breaking through.
The kick sound there that's just that's so fucking loud.
Yeah, it it sounds like you're getting someone's kicking through your door every time.
What if you threw Mumford and Sons into a trash compactor?
Yeah. But
but complimentary.
Cool. Yeah. And then that happens too when the drums and the bass come in. The low end is so heavy.
Yeah. No, the guitars are really I don't know if they're tuned down or something, but they are, whatever they put on it made it real low end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it it hits that Phil Spector, who's terrible person.
Fuck you, Phil Spector.
Yeah, fuck Phil Spector.
Is he dead?
I don't know. I
think he's dead. I'm 85% sure Phil Spector's dead.
He's terrible, but it has his. He did do the Wall of Sound, and.
Let's go. He's dead.
He's dead.
Huge.
All right.
That's good. That's huge for us.
Well, yeah. So, the now deceased Phil Spector sound of the Wall of Sound, where it's just massive sound that just hits you with, and it's compressed, so you get every little detail of his guitar and his room that he's recording in mixed in there. I think even at one point you can hear him click a pen.
Probably.
In the recording. But yeah, it's really cool. It's so raw, and it feels like how Midwest emo should feel.
Yeah. I will never not pick a Midwest emo track.
Yeah.
Or a Midwest emo adjacent track.
I think you're 3 for 3.
That's 3 for 3 now, yeah. Also, absolutely check them out if they're touring in your city. They're touring a lot right now, and they are incredible live. however good they sound on the record, they sound better live.
Oh, yeah.
They're unbelievable.
I bet.
Yeah, absolutely check them out.
And now we're gonna move into my pick, which is, guess what? A hyperpop song.
3 for 3.
Whoa. I'm 2 for 3.
What was your other one?
Che was like a
come
trap
on.
song.
He
was borderline.
Borderline. That's adjacent.
Yeah. So we are gonna listen to Kmoe, and I have a little bit of info about Kmoe. He is Canadian.
Mm-hmm. Just for everybody else, for me included, spelled K-M-O-E.
Yeah,
right?
Kmoe. He is Canadian. I'm gonna look him up right now because
Gross.
he is super young. Actually, I think
A lot like Neil Young.
he is. All right, he's 20, so he's
Am I older than him? I'm older than him. Fuck
yeah,
you.
we're
Fuck
both
you, Kmoe.
older than Kmoe.
Yeah.
But he is an incredible producer. This song came out in I want to say 2020. So he would have been 16 when he made this song.
Dang.
This track's called 2021, so he would have been 17 when he made this song. Track's called Gloves, and it is just a really cool hyperpop song that was kind of one of the, when SoundCloud had its kind of hyperpop movement, it was kind of one of the defining songs, and it's great.
What era is that, the SoundCloud hyperpop? Where would you define that?
Started 2020, probably ended around 2022.
Okay, cool. Let's check it out.
So yeah, Kmoe, Gloves.
Gloves by Kmoe.
Kmoe.
And that was gas. That was really good. I say that for everyone, of course. But that one was cool. That's a style of music I've had to kind of learn to like over the past. That's not one that I naturally am gravitate towards. But man, that one has so many good ear tickly synths.
Yeah.
Like there's so many little. If you're a fan, you out there, if you're a fan of little noises that make your ears feel all good, you'll like this song. There's so many little noises in this one that make your ears feel all good. Mm-hmm. And it's got the like hyper pop, like high pitched, like auto tune vocals.
Yeah.
Which I am still kind of indifferent towards.
Yeah.
That's a sound. That's cool. That's not as much my thing. But man, the ear tickly synths are so good.
Yeah.
And like there's some great drops in there.
The ending.
The ending's really cool. It's real spacey.
I think it's really well written too.
Yeah, I really like the lyrics. The lyrics to like I'm fucking drowning.
Yeah.
And
especially the first verse.
Mm-hmm.
I think let me pull up the lyrics, but
yeah.
It's
There's definitely like a contrast in the lyrics between like the like really upbeat like like poppy synths and the like like the idea of a toxic relationship.
Yeah, the walking past the shadows they crawl, lampposts and windows rattle. It's just like
yeah, that's good. That's good stuff.
It's just good imagery.
Yeah.
And I always think about like, wow, he was 17 and he wrote this.
That's
like,
impressive. Yeah.
And self-produced and mixed and mastered it.
That's crazy. Yeah.
That's
shout out to Kmoe.
Yeah.
Check this song out.
He does other cool stuff too, and he works with Jane Remover a lot.
Oh, okay,
so
cool.
We're gonna get the more Jane. All my artists,
it all comes back to Jane Remover.
All comes back to Jane Remover. But yeah, that's Kmoe.
Yeah.
Gloves. Cool track.
Oh, by the way, I was driving back from Murfreesboro the other day, and I put on Movies for Guys, and like it hit at a whole nother level, like on the road for some reason. Yeah. Like that song's great.
Yeah. Movies for Guys.
Movies
Jane
for
Remover.
Guys.
Listen to it.
Maybe the sickest, nastiest intro ever on that song, Movies for Guys.
Yeah.
The synth drop into that one is crazy good.
Yeah.
It's like, speaking about tickling your ears, that thing will just like make you transport to another planet.
Yeah.
That one's great.
Yeah, also, the second verse too with that song.
Yeah, oh, see that's what, normally for that song I kind of just listen to it to listen to the first hit, and then just kind of zone out for the last bit. The last bit hit fucking hard.
Oh, the last bit was like, I break a glass of wine, and let the pieces stab your eyes.
That's hard.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be someone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gets in your way.
Jane Remover's cool, and if you don't like her, go live in Russia.
You suck. I also really love like the way she messes. I don't. It's a she, right?
Kmo?
No, Jane Remover.
Jane Remover's
Yeah, I like the way she messes with her vocals. So it's like almost like ambiguous, like gender wise. I think that's really fucking cool thing to do, and I think it like has some really fun implications there. That's like really, like I like the way that pushes the envelope, and I like the way that kind of like creates a space for like creators whose voices don't match their like whatever people would perceive their gender as. I think that's a really cool thing to like kind of trailblaze in. That's sick. But yeah.
Yeah, even like I think Kmo even on this track kind of like kind of does that as well because he has like in the best saying this in the nicest way possible, he sounds like a high schooler singing and he also pitches his vocals up.
Yeah.
So he sounds like a child. But it adds to there's something to it.
I think something about the like for Jane Remover that clicked with me and the way in which hyperpop like kind of music made like by people on their computers not really like in the music industry, the way it like appeals to people that maybe don't fit within like a specific gender spectrum.
Yeah.
I think is really cool. And the way that like cuz for me like I like growing up like Christian and whatnot, I didn't have a lot of exposure to like trans people or people who express their gender differently. And I remember listening to a podcast with somebody who like a trans woman who hadn't undergone voice training, and like it was a really like informative time for me to like kind of relearn that like to associate like a low voice with a woman, and to like kind of relearn that like this binary in my head doesn't mean anything, and I think hyperpop's another very cool avenue where to do that.
I mean I think hyperpop is I think it's the most populated music genre by trans artists.
That's sick.
And it's also pioneered by Sophie, who is probably one of the most iconic trans artists. So yeah, shout out hyperpop.
Shout out hyperpop. That's sick.
But yeah, do you have any closing remarks?
Let's see. What have we been up to? We just watched Aliens.
Yeah.
That was sick.
Aliens is cool.
Yeah. Check out Aliens. Shout out underground indie artist James Cameron. Notably never done anything else big.
Yeah.
Like the two highest grossing movies ever.
Yeah, super small composer.
3. Yeah, super small composer James Cameron.
Yeah.
Movie's sick. Sigourney Weaver, you're the coolest person ever. You're so cool.
Yeah. I don't know who that is.
She's Ripley.
Oh, Ripley's cool.
Yeah. Is this still recording?
I think so.
Okay. Guess we'll find out.
And yeah, I think the last note I want to add is go subscribe to, I don't know what they're releasing it on. I'll get more details next week. But it's called The Dark Side of Dairyland. It is started by my dear girlfriend, Katie, and her friend, Erin.
We fuck with Katie heavy.
Yeah.
And I assume we fuck with Erin heavy. I don't know her.
We love both of them.
We love you.
Yeah. And it's called Dark Side of Dairyland. It's a true crime podcast about crime in Wisconsin.
The Dairyland?
Yeah.
The Dairyland.
So go check it out.
Is it like cows killing each other? Or like
I don't know.
Like
that's for you to find out when you go listen to
find out this grisly murder of 5 that Brett Favre committed in 2008.
I wrote the theme for it too, so
Yo.
It's another reason for you to check it out.
The murder is just like a Clay Matthews like taking someone out on an en route.
Yeah, on the fire blitz.
Yeah.
But
it's a Vikings receiver running a slant and then just meeting Clay Matthews in the middle.
Yeah, the clay maker.
Yeah. It's just like August 31st, 2008. Poor Shannon Sharp is crossing the middle as he meets the fist of Clay Matthews driving into his pelvis. What do we do with this information? How do we reckon with such a heinous act? Clay Matthews, a yellow flag flies into the air, matching the same golden sheen of Clay Matthews' hair and his golden pants. The cheeseheads erupt in roars of rage as Shannon Sharp lies sobbing on the field, cradling his fractured pelvis.
The pigskin rolls out of bounds.
Slowly. Who was their head coach at the time? 2000.
Incomplete.
And just another day in the life of a middle linebacker.
And with that, we're 2 dope boys
on a porch.
signing off.
Peace.
Oh, we hit that.
We hit that, yeah.